Welcome back, everybody, as we watched a game unfold which can only have multiple questions around it. Jason now needs to shave his head, and the whole world has gone crazy because that was not Counter-Strike that we are used to. And Blair, you look like you are struggling, my friend. Yeah, he's gone. Blair's gone. We've only hit map 1 out of 3, potentially 2. Where do we think this one's going to go? I don't even think Mirage literally turned into a Mirage of the real sense of it.
It was a mess.
You want to forget about it, right?
Yeah, it was a mess for both teams in that regard. I think I was surprised by Aequus Club in the beginning of the game. I actually thought to myself, all right, this team is playing well. They're playing some of the fundamental Counter-Strike that we like to see. There was some Aequus that was actually pretty well executed. They had some smokes going down after the plan to make sure the retake would get tougher. You know, some pretty well thought stuff where I thought to myself, all right, this team is here to play. This team has prepared well. And kudos for that. They ended up winning the game as well, you know. So I think they were by far the better team. Obviously, when it comes down to the individual play on the server, there was not too much to be said about that for neither of these teams. A lot of mistakes individually being made by both teams, both players in general. I think to summarize this game, it's one of those you want to forget quickly for both teams. That said, though, if you're from Aequus Club, you know, you get the win, and if you can bring in the mentality you had the first 8 round in this game, you know, being well structured and having some of those strats and smokes set down, so to speak, I wouldn't be too worried if I were them. I think they were the better team, and I think if they can step it up just a little bit on their individual decision making, this CyberZen team looked like a complete mess. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Aequus Club take this 2-0.
Now, I really want to ask you guys, right? How, in any word, do you go from looking like you were saying there, right? Aequus Club, they had looked like, oh, we got some tactics, we look like we know what we're doing, and then it just falls apart in such a dramatic way.
I think it's also because CyberZen, even though they had literally negative teamwork, like it's like you talk about zero teamwork, this is negative. Like they were literally hurting themselves. There were points where I'm like, what the hell are you doing? The post rounds are non-existent, whatnot. But on the other hand, we had certain players like Savage, we had Viva, we had Bottle. They had a lot of big rounds, a lot of big fragging moments, and it all came down to just brute forcing their way and trying to make something click, right? Make something to make something happen, and they found little flaws in Aequus' setup. Now, again, like Aequus, they had, like Pim said, kudos to these guys. They played some decent Counter-Strike, especially on the T side. CD side, there were flaws here and there, and that was what was getting exploited by CyberZen. But to be very honest, that's the thing. CyberZen could have taken this very convincingly if they just played it smarter, like some smart economic decision making early on, with, you know, playing some of those 1v1s and 2v2s a little bit more smartly, not going for certain force buys, not some of those post buys are horrendous. That one round, 1v3, he knifes the guy, almost sprays both of them down. That should never happen. One round against USPs and a Deagle. The second round they lost on the second half. He's planning the bomb for connector. There's no one marking connector. There's no smoke at connector, and they lose the round to USPs and like 2 Deagles or something. You do not win games like this. I have lost it.
To be fair for Aequus Club, you were asking the question, you know, why do they all of a sudden look so bad, you know, and they look so good within the first round? I think it's one of those scenarios where you're playing a team like CyberZen, who's literally dragging them down to that level. You can't play your own sort of Counter-Strike when you're playing a team that there's no sense to it. Like the last round they lost here, there was a B retake scenario where they, for some reason, decided to all three guys peek into window instead of just waiting for the retake scenario and play off each other. That was basic Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike that you even on a face at level 10 or ESCA for that matter you would understand it better than you're doing right here, and that's simply not okay.
Savagery from both of you, but rightly so. These teams need to perform a little bit better as we go into map 2. It's going to be Inferno, and to be back with Jason and Tom. And don't worry, Tom, I'm going to go get the clippers while you guys do this game, and we'll take down Jason after this.
Oh, I'm so glad the camera's not on us right now, because this is a look of regret in my eyes and a look of happiness, I think, in Tom's.
Yeah, in a sense. Like, I've got mixed emotions, because obviously we're going into map number 2, but yeah, the idea of you shaving your head is quite entertaining.
The thing is, if anyone knows anything about my history when it comes to esports, they know I've already done this before once. Yeah, even Banks is like, wait, what? Let's not talk about it, though, but you could probably easily Google search that one and find the video of it as Blade immediately gets his phone out. Thanks, guys. Anyways, Inferno kicking off. Let's focus on the match, not focus on how I would look in about 5 years of time when I already lose my hair. As we do have Aequus on the CT side and CyberZen on the T side. And Poct is just being dinged up through a wall over from Bridge here.
Yeah, not something you normally see done with a Glock, but hey, a little bit of extra damage can go a long way. It looks like they're going to go for the explosion out towards the apartments, taking some early control. They have left Savage in behind, maybe just going to throw out some utility, try and like bait in some of the players over towards that spot, but already they get the opener on towards this A site, leaving just one man, Ponk, to try and defend it all alone. The man was initially dinked up. Still, they've got Savage trying to hold rotations, but the man on the site doing fantastic work. 2 kills coming in for him. HZ still manages to trade eventually, and Savage still around this area. They're not going to expect him, so at least again, we land in this 2 versus 2 Bottle on the site, however, has been unable to get the bomb down. Anarchy, as we may describe this round, but Bottle hopefully just able to connect the shots onto the remaining players. Still, the bomb's going to get dropped. It turns into the 1v1. Savage trying around the corner. He's left on just 4 HP, and the headshot hit. Was that his last bullet?
Last bullet comes in,
God.
hits the shot, saves the round for Aequus. Oh, and that picture of him right there is going to be me probably in a few days at this rate, but well done right there. That was just hectic as hell. Savage even going for the long lurk there. That was like very GTR-esque from like 2014, 2013, when lurks, worked extremely well back in the game. But the meta's changed, but clearly not in the Asia region, as it's been able to work out not only on Inferno here, but it's worked out on Mirage for him multiple times. Even though they took the pistol round, I'm not saying CyberZen does not have a chance in this. They have the CZs. That's what saved them on Mirage when they were on map point for Aequus. But Inferno is definitely a different beast. And this is the map that Aequus did get stomped on up against Renegades in their initial match of the day from yesterday.
Well, the scary thing is, I would say that for the CZ, Inferno, if anything, is better. There's a lot of close range angles. There's a lot of ways that you can get onto the site very, very quickly without really having to deal with too much. You think about the B site, you're around the corner, you're on the site. You think about the A site, you jump out apps again, you're on the site. So I think that they could definitely take this round. Like, this is one of the rounds where you look at some of the Asian teams, and this is one alongside Mirage that they've really been able to actually beat some of the better EU teams on. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking that they can manage to take this round away, especially with only 2 players actually being on the site already. They overwhelm the first. It's left onto Zenser to at least get a couple of kills, and he does do just that. But in comes Bottle from behind. That will be the bomb, or should be the bomb, going onto the site. It's taken them a little while, and that will actually buy time for the rotation of these CT players. Savage in the corner, ready and waiting, but not ready enough, as Anik is again managing a crucial couple of kills, leaving TB left in a 1 versus 3. Now the bomb plant at least will give them a benefit, and he's found the FAMAS into his hands, which does net him the first kill. Around the corner we see the second player, but already they're faking out that defuse, but there's no kit. So he just has to try and burn down the clock as much as possible, but wary that they are sticking it. Goes for the wide peak, and it will be another round on the board for Aequus.
What are the chances CyberZen's going to force up into this round with getting that bomb down?
High.
At least you're honest. I respect that about you, Tom. Well,
they got 2 players with over 4,000, so if anything, I can't actually blame them that much for the amount of damage they managed to do in the last round. At the same time, they could just go for CZs again and then buy properly in the next. So I don't actually have that much of a problem with either way in this situation. Before, I had much more of a problem with it because it was really high risk. But hey, you got 2 AKs, you got a couple of SMGs, you got a Galil. You look at the other side, okay, it is mostly rifles, but you win this round, you reset them.
Yep, and I mean, they did a lot of damage yet again. Aequus is not really able to win any of these rounds. Brutal, Savage, wrecked, as Red Eye would say there for Zenser. Hey, Savage got the kill, Got the assist at least. And Hydra's going to push up now to pick up the reins where his teammate Zenser did fall. Even has a rotate come in. That's going to be a sign there to back him up. Doesn't expect the up-close and personal fight out of Viva. But again, kills being traded. And Asylum, I don't understand here in this situation why you'd want to push up. Why would you not sit back? Because you're allowing them an angle. And that's 3 players now dead towards B. You're basically saying, hey, B could be wide open. If it's not, that means we rotate a player over and left it to a 1-on-1 over towards A. And the bomb is not even towards the B position.
Yeah,
and yet it's pulled 2 players away towards the B site. And Savage, again, even going for the spray through the smoke, almost takes on Anarchist, pushes in. Okay, I thought he was going to push through that. Oh, my God. Who knows at this rate what's going to happen? Oh, my gosh.
He's done so much damage, though. The remaining 2 players so low on HP. HZ with already a very aggressive position, and a Galil to lose, it's not the worst case, especially again when we talk about just the amount of money. However, Aequus easily manages to finish off that kill. They're still going to go hunting though. Now bear in mind, CyberZen's money is not in a good state. The CTs, it's saving in the next round. I would almost argue that forcing might not be the worst case scenario here, so I don't think that CyberZen really want to be pushing too much for this to try and finish off these remaining players. Need to keep their own economy strong, and yeah, they do eventually break back and get themselves on the board much earlier earlier than before. Like we talk about the previous map, 7-0 with these sort of close back and forward rounds before they managed to finally break in and actually get a nice little streak going. Instead, this time, it's only 2-1.
So Inferno is CyberZen's best map. They've played it 12 times and have won 10 out of the last 3 months. That's damn good. The only difference is they're playing against like mostly Chinese teams. If you look at their actual past, history, EHOME, they played against MVP, PK on it. They actually beat them as well, since MVP already qualified through into the playoffs yesterday, winning 2-0. They played Gosu, beat them as well. So it's definitely their best map, hands down. But I still don't want to say this is a map that they're easily going to win, with just how Mirage did go. That was Aequus' choice, so I can kind of understand that they did struggle a little bit more. But I think there's definitely a third map in the cards here. I think Train is definitely a possibility, Tom.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and that's where things get really interesting, because then you look at map statistics. It's been played 3 times by CyberZen. They've won once, and according to this, Aequus have never played it, but I don't believe that. I think that's obviously just, like, this is a team where there will be some holes in the HLTV statistics, because they will have played a lot more locally.
But the thing is, it's not like they played against, like,
good opposition.
Exactly,
Yeah.
when it comes to that map, so it's going to be anyone's game if we get into that. Punk, in the meantime, is trying to shut down the push in towards A. Able to get the spray down onto Bottle, but Viva and HZ able to take down a lot of damage here with the MAC-10s. Dear Lord, that's a lot of money built up. Again, a lot of damage done to the side of CyberZen, but Anarcha is going to be the last one alive, and I would want to say save this AWP. Don't give a chance for CyberZen to pick it up to get it into Savage's hands.
Yeah, it's been pretty good with this AWP, and a lot of the time we do see him over faces, but HZ, more like HS, headshot machine, just destroys his opponent and doesn't even want the AWP. Again, don't really blame them in this scenario. The money is not going to be there for Aequus in this round, so it's a real chance for them to make up some more cash, which is already starting to build. And yeah, this is already looking like a much better start for CyberZen.
It's funny because, on the desk, and this is something we've been saying over the course of 2 days, that you don't want to play Asian teams on Mirage. And yet CyberZen did struggle a bit in that map.
The thing is, I feel like the struggle was based off their own decisions, like their individual plays and the way that they seem to feel around the map, like with the confidence and their aggression. I don't think it's a bad map for them at all. I think it was just like some of the decisions they made, like, yeah, let's plant for a position that we don't have covered, or let's just like go super aggro.
That's refreshing.
Almost all of them. Still, a nice little, kill boost, I suppose.
It was refreshing to see, the 5 USPs not turn it into a 1v1.
Or just kill everyone. Not even a 1v1, just win.
Well, things are heating up here in the studio as CyberZen do take the lead. Now keep your jacket on, please, for the sake of all of us. More importantly, me here in the studio. Yeah, you should probably think about showering more than once every week. I'm kidding. Tom always smells great. That just made it more awkward. Anyways, it's a lot of damage done with the nades coming in.
Yeah, I will say so far on Banana, it seems like the T's have definitely done much better with their utility usage. Like we saw the sort of early kill they managed to get last time.
Yeah, Zenser just got burned alive.
I think he was also naded as well. That's why he burned so quickly. And again, they managed to do a lot of damage onto Anarchis as well. So I think the CTs need to do a little bit better with their own utility usage when it comes to Banana. Because, like I said, you normally expect like the players over towards B to have a minimum of 200 utility damage by the end of this half, because they should just be lobbing nades down there pretty much the whole time. Now Bottle has managed to sneak into quite a horrible angle for this CT side, as he's very close to being able to sneak around the corner. Now it's clear that Asylum is aware. Savage, he's another one who just seems to be a timing king, as Punked has been completely caught out. The push down mid actually just ruins Aequus. I don't think they have any idea. They're like, look, there's absolutely no one here. Well, they're all on Arch, unfortunately. They've completely bypassed your defense, and you can see the T's now still clearing all the site. Like, oh, is there anyone pit? There anyone site? No. Oh, I guess we've killed everyone then. And Hydra has just been left completely bamboozled.
And dead, apparently.
Yeah.
Auto opening up a can of whoop ass on him.
But yeah, it's going to be another round on the board, and the T's are starting to actually build up quite a bank, which is something they did not manage to do at all in the previous map. They had no cash pretty much all the way through. Anarchiz, he seems to be the king of just bringing AWPs into the next round, or just like keeping it. Oh, then of course when he tries to win a 1v3.
I'm confused because we have more of a normal match happening here on Inferno compared to Mirage. It is in the early days here of Inferno, obviously, only 6 rounds in. But CyberZen, I mean, the thing is, like, they were able to penetrate the A site with really no contention, right? There was really no one in middle. There's no one over towards Arch to actually, you know, go for a couple of shots. They're able to create a lot of space using some smokes, and Assam had to sit very far back on site. And then you have Savage, who's just constantly lurking away. Like, this isn't the first time he's been able to get frags like this. Even in the pistol round, he was able to do the same. And Aequus are just really struggling dealing with the lurk and then also adapting their own style. I don't know how CyberZen prepared for this match in particular, but they clearly had to watch the match versus Renegades. Aequus played yesterday because they are like completely taking advantage of the way Aequus are holding a lot of these positions.
Well, I think for starters, we're seeing, like, as you said, positions abandoned, but it doesn't seem like everybody is aware that these positions are abandoned. Because
On the side of Aequus.
Yeah, because it's like, for example, if you have the Arch wraparound and you don't have anybody there, normally you have players in pit to directly counter if they do push through. Instead, they have one man on the site. The other guy just pushed down mid. Obviously, a little bit unlucky that all the players bypassed him, but it's still one of those positions where you go, okay, you should be aware that you've given that up for a long amount of time. And then, yeah, the remaining players are like, oh, okay, it's got to be B then. But it's like, no, you abandon a portion of the map. You need to be aware that that position has been gone for you, so that you then do something about it. Like, okay, yeah, we put players in pit. And then you do have that player on the site who can have that nice little crossfire. Instead, he was alone on A.
Oh, speaking of alone, Asylum won't be alone here in towards apartments. So they come down, Anarcha's hitting the shot. Oh, you can see him already being spammed away. He's actually being forced to give up this angle to force him to miss the shot. Asylum gets ran over. And Zensor as well is just going to be completely demolished in towards Boiler. Anarchus needs to get this shot, but he unscopes at the wrong time, and Viva gets the frag. And just like that, CyberZen have the site. Oh, Punk, please no. Okay, he gets one at least. But one is not going to be enough to get them into this round, and CyberZen should be going up 5-2. Should be. Oh, biting my tongue on this one.
I'm fairly confident.
Oh yeah, you want to make a bet on it? You want to make a wager? The hair I shave off my head gets glued onto your head.
Like he wins the round.
Well, it's too late now. We were discussing it. You know.
I would have taken that.
God, you would have looked fantastic in my hair.
I don't think I would have done. I think it would have looked like a terrifying beast.
What are you trying to say?
Maybe your hair is horrifying.
Okay, all right.
But
Yeah, this was that angle, that pre-fire shot onto Anarchus trying to, you know, scope down apartments was fantastic. He actually moved away from it. He like lost his scope shot on it, which allowed his teammate to be run over. Then again, his teammate would have been run over nonetheless, even if he hit the first shot because there was multiple players there. But still, it just really shows the understanding that CyberZen have of this map, and more importantly, maybe of the way Aequus are playing it.
oh, I like it. They know these trapped in the corner because of the smoke. Double nades out from the CT side. That's much better. Using their utility wisely to catch out these early aggressive players. Now, in a lot of these rounds, you could talk about the idea that they haven't had all the utility they desire. But now they're going to sort of go for that early aggression over towards B, and now it's completely switch up. Send players back. They have more Arch control player in pit as well. I think a less aggressive style into the apartments is also going to be a positive for them. And Anarch is even managing to connect his opening shots as well. So much better start to this round from the CT side.
3 players stacked towards A as well. Can't count CyberZen out. They still have a decent amount of utility to clear up some angles. And Punk's going to have to get that position up soon, I would imagine, if they have another smoke to replace it. But they actually will throw that one in. Maintain balcony control, but we can see the 3 players, at least 2 of them now out of CyberZen, trying to creep their way up here. Their arms T-Rex, and can they hit the shots, though? Or will they expect Punk to be here? The flashbang was fantastic. The thing was, there's no capitalization off of it. There's no one able to actually get up any frags off of it. Now it forces Punk to actually go down from that one. HG gets a kill on a Zen, so now it's all on the side. They haven't actually spotted, but HG turns around at the perfect time. And if you just imagine if that flashbang came in and someone peeked with all 3 players blind, they would have had a couple of frags, and things might have been different. This was a 3-on-5, Tom, and CyberZen still might win this.
I think they will. It's his left on Anarchus again. I think he's forced more into a save, but that opening pick gives him a little bit of life, a little bit of confidence pushing back. But look at the position of HZ. He's already coming around the back. Ooh, nice shot through the smoke, though. TB gone, but he has to get towards the diffuser. He's managed to find himself a kit and just looking to try and stick it, but that's not going to be happening. HZ, well placed, the scope trying to fake him out, but it will be 6-2. And HZ, what a round from him. We spoke about him yesterday with his opening kills into the site. That was one of the only saving graces we saw versus Greyhound. And while in this situation, he was the complete savior here. 5v3, and he just destroys them.
Now look at that, the double check too, just to make sure, just to clear all those angles, which CyberZen are doing so well. that shot right there was, whew, that was beautiful.
16 and 5.
That's not a bad start here for him. And the funny thing is that how many rounds in a row was that op saved out of Aequus? I feel like it was like 3, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 4 in there.
I know he rebought it at least once.
Okay. He saved it for quite a few rounds, but unfortunately, not going to have it here in round number 9. 3v4. There's definitely still a chance that Aequus could come back in this one. Like, again, this is such a hard match to predict that we don't know what's going to happen. As now Molotov's going to burn up a Sam, force him back in towards window. Not where he wants to be. But it allows actually Bottle maybe the opportunity to push him towards apartments to catch him out. Oh my.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm surprised he let him walk past. Like, his teammates know, so I suppose that's absolutely fine. It's almost like he was just trying to feed a couple of kills to somebody else. Just like, I got enough, you know? I'm doing fine as it is. Somebody else can take those ones. But hey, it's working out anyway. Nice shot from Hydra. Will at least manage to net one. He's going to go pushing for a little bit more. But this is seeming like a much calmer CyberZen. Like, we're not seeing like crazy aggressive plays. They're waiting patiently up against the pistols. They're trying to utilize the extra utility they have and just trying to clear the angles. You could say that maybe Mirage is just a bit more of a manic map for them and they feel far more comfortable on it.
It's definitely more of a puggy map too, in general, if we compare like this to Inferno, where you need the mid-round calls, you need to bait out a lot of utility. And it's harder for Savage to actually lurk in this map, I feel, as well. Thinking about the way he controlled Underpass on the previous map. But still, CyberZen are building up a lead. 7-2 now for them. We're going to see another timeout come in for Aequus. CyberZen still, I think over the course of this entire tournament, have yet to take the timeout.
Just don't need it, you know? Just so tactically sound. They don't need to change anything.
I think that's definitely the word analysts used earlier.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure that exact phrase came out of Pimp's mouth.
Yeah. As they're watching this match very intently. But I think I agree. We're seeing a calmer CyberZen. We're seeing more confident CyberZen.
Yeah.
And yes, Aequus do have this map lead, but I just don't know how Train's going to go. Again, it's kind of like a really oddball map between these two, since it's one of the least played. Well, technically not played for Aequus, but obviously it has been. Just hasn't been recorded on HLTV due to smaller tournaments and the such. And Aequus does get a nice little opener. That was in towards middle, actually taking Savage down in team mid. And Savage has been a pain in the backside here for Aequus, but it's all been about HZ.
Well, yeah, this is an almost definite, like, apps burst. Just, obviously, the position helps, but Viva buying up the Mac 10 when he has $10,000, he's just going to be the one that just tries to jump past. The interesting thing about that, though, is he has the bomb. So the second he goes in, the bomb is in the site. So they have to hit the shots, and instead, Asylum's the one to do the work. No choice from TV but to try and just run through and do some damage. There was no way he'd win that round any other way. So it is just going to be third on the board for Aequus.
All right, so now finally able to get that first one after losing 7 straight. It's up to them to continue this pace if they can. Thing is, their money situation, if they lose this round, we could be seeing 10 rounds T-side for CyberZen easily, if not more,
Yeah.
the first half.
I do think as well that there's a possibility the CT side is where we see CyberZen get a little bit more crazy. Because right now, them like sort of taking a lot of map control, being more aggressive on Banana, that's fairly common. That's what the map actually sort of suggests now. A lot of damage done again from utility, but already the first 2 kills going the way. A faster play from 2 of the CyberZen players doesn't work out. Bottle's just going to opt to try and push through the smoke. He wants to try and capitalize on these remaining players falling back, but he's missed the boat. Aequus already sat back and ready to defend.
At the end of that last round, HZ had 169 ADR.
Not bad.
Not bad? That's insane.
You haven't seen me play, Jason.
I don't think I need to see you play to know how that's going to turn out.
I'll take like 1.7 ADR. I think that's not bad.
1.7. I thought you were going to say rating. I'm like, that's impressive. But damage, all right.
Oh, that's a miss smoke. There is no smoke for CT, and CyberZen just going to run in anyway. They've got another smoke. They have another smoke. Oh, just going to wide peek it anyway.
Hey, Tom. They have another smoke.
It's all right. Savage will just run off and clutches in a 1v4.
No, that's not happening. I'm not taking a bet this time, but there's no way that should happen.
only 22 HP.
22 seconds left.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Aren't you like 37?
24. Come on.
I am the old one.
You're the one who's 37. Either way. Savage, 10 seconds left. No chance.
Should almost just
He doesn't
save
even
at
have a
this rate,
chance
right?
to get the bomb down. I'm not really sure of the decision there, but
At least
oh,
he died before time finished, you know.
it doesn't really affect them though. They've got he's on $9,300. He can buy whatever he wants.
Can you buy my hair back?
You haven't lost it yet. You might be able to buy you a razor to shave it off with though.
Yeah, I'm not going that short. Not going the Tom Special. But more importantly, Aequus to take two rounds in a row. And that's what they needed, considering they could have been reset there. Now they're starting to eat away at the economy of CyberZen because they had quite a few players left alive for Aequus. So maybe they can build up some sort of bankroll now. Again, the utility usage, it's really denying a lot of angles for Aequus to take early control of Banana.
Yeah, Aequus has wanted to take that aggressive peak quite a lot of the time. And he's been punished pretty much every time with at least a bit of damage, just because they are throwing those Molotovs so consistently along with the HEs. So does have to be a little bit careful in this situation. They gamble early on, sending the 3 players over towards B, especially after the last round when we saw the Ts just try and run and gun and take them down. Instead, we now have the 3 back over towards that A site. A little bit of a boost was thrown in on towards Arch, but nothing really gathered up from that. And with a minute left, they still look like they want to challenge this B site a little bit. It's definitely not set in stone where the opponent's going to go. Are they going to go for the boost? Doesn't look like it. I kind of wanted to see them just try and boost over and take this man down. They've got the AWP in the hands. Savage, they've got to be a bit careful trying to peek over this angle because Anik is, well, he's been pretty quick with the flicks. Not going to be with that one though. Can't hit the shot. We'll just fall back, but still the Molotov, he's got another smoke actually. So he could just smoke this off and there's no way they're coming into the site. And there you go. It's going to have to be a push back towards the A site.
Oh, what?
Song just peeks out. He just hands away that opener and he's left one defender. It's left onto Zensa to try and do it all. He's going to be met with Savage and they've actually just handed away into the site for CyberZen.
I'm not sure how one player was able to force the rotate just like that as well. I mean, I guess with the time so low, Aequus wanted to invest into that. They still have also a player lurking over towards B in the meantime. That's going to be Viva. And Aequus is still watching the back, so he's not going to be able to reinforce this any sort of time. Viva does get the right moment on him. And again, CyberZen able to take the round 8-4.
It's just bad luck.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I feel like CyberZen, one thing we can talk about positively about them is their timings. Like, Savage has multiple times now able to catch out players, just turning at the last second. We saw Viva be able to do it just there.
And now you see the timeout, penultimate one taken for the CT side. And the thing is, like, when you see this many pauses taken on the CT side, you have to worry a little bit because going into the next half, they literally have one left. In this situation, it's understandable because you kind of questioning whether you buy or not. You can get your AWP with the AWP, but the rest of the players, okay, one of them can buy. You've got limited cash on a few of the others, and one of the big things we've spoken about is utility usage. They've got no HEs, they've got 2 incendiaries. I'm pretty sure at least one of them doesn't play over onto the B side unless they're going to try switching things up. So, yeah, they are, because Aequus is now not helping out on that side of the map, but even still, like you look at the utility they've already had to expend just to stop any early aggression, and Aequus, speaking of early aggression, he's going for some of his own. I think he knows he needs to be the one to make some sort of play in this.
I mean, we did talk yesterday about being able to play very fluid with an op, especially on a map like Inferno, and they have rotated him in different positions. He's gone towards middle, he's gone towards Banana, apartments this time. So I do like seeing that. Problem is, he hasn't really been able to get any good opening duels going his way. You know, looking at his opening duels in general when it comes to his stats, he's 1-0. So yeah, great, 1-0, you're undefeated. But, you know, it's just still 1. And maybe seeing a couple more opening duels or giving him more opportunities for some opening duels would net them an early man advantage and alleviate a lot of pressure around the map.
That's actually what I do when I start a CS game. I get 1-0 up and then I leave and I'm undefeated.
It's true. I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. That's why I refuse to play anything like professionally. I'm already undefeated in my esports career. I don't need to get that first L under my belt. Nice little position out of Hydra here, but they're going to crash into this. Look at where they set up.
They've got a sort of double stack, like one above, one below, so decent positions. The fact is, though, there's 5 men coming their way. Lots of utility. Not actually going to be using much to get into the site, and that's not a bad trade at all from the CTs. A 3 for 2, now giving the rotation available. They've still got a couple of smokes, a kit, and 3 flashbangs to try and get back into the site. The difficult thing, though, is going to be clearing out TB. He gets 1. Okay, there's still an opportunity, but realistically, if there's a double here, it could be a big, big problem. And actually, Savage is going to help him out with the second Aequus. He's pretty good at saving this up.
Why? Okay, Tom, help me. Why do they push in towards Graveyard like that, or construction, whatever you want to call it these days, when he wasn't in even a spot to help out? He wasn't in a position to even watch down Banana just yet, and they pushed him without it. They pushed him with 2 players.
It does seem to be in a lot of retake scenarios that he is nowhere near the site. Like, talk about the round. Maybe he heard Viva running around, but it looked like he was already saving a couple of rounds ago with that AWP, when the rest of his team was still trying to retake. And I don't know, like, maybe he's trying to get his HLTV stats up a little bit, but other than that, there's been a lot of scenarios where he needs to be closer to the action. And even just a lot of the kills they've been getting, like you speak about opening jewels, you speak about those peaks. I don't think they've been particularly impactful, considering he's sat at the top of the server for his team at the moment.
Oh, saving the op. I almost want to see if they lose this op. The thing is, the first half's almost done, so you probably can't even have this happen. Is just run with the M4 instead. Because the op has just really not netted too many kills, and Savage gets 2. HZ gonna get 1 as well, and this should be easily a B take. A little bit of dinkage up in middle. And CyberZen now gonna be up 10-4 on T-side Inferno. Can they pull off the 11th and take us to that 3rd map potentially? Or at least get themselves 1 step closer. CyberZen, I mean, you said this towards the beginning of the map. They look a lot calmer in-game, and they sure as hell look calm out of game. And why wouldn't you be when you're up 11 or 10-4 at the moment?
Yeah, no, feeling
confident, feeling good.
Feeling confident.
And even Bottles picked up an op for, like, I feel like one of the first times of the T half. I don't think they've run an op a single time, if I can recall.
I think Savage has had it a few times. As
oh yeah, so he did go for the 1v1 up against Anarchus over towards B, and Anarchus did win that duel, but
yeah.
It hasn't been that many times.
A lot of the time they've thrown in SMGs for faster plays. This time, though, Anarchus has himself AUG, and they will kick things off. This is a weird strategy. Like, it is an off angle, I suppose. Off angle being in the middle. But yeah, it's not going to be expected. Savage probably peeked round that corner just thinking, what on earth are these guys doing? But a bit rich coming from him, either way. It's going to be the build-up in towards this B site. Still, they want to try and challenge versus these 2 remaining players. Bottle was spotted, so that's where the smoke should be going down. There shouldn't be any reason for them to try and fight through this. But they can't fight over it.
But they can't fight under it.
No.
Looks like they're going to go for a boost up in towards the back of the site. 3 players. I would actually have kind of almost like to see someone on Aequus over towards Archway for like a quick rotate, because they're running out of utility towards the B site, right? Luckily for them, Hydra does get a massive kill, and a good flashbang does halt the progress out of CyberZen. The bomb has been dropped as well. Malta comes in towards the backside. Viva's going to open things up. Will they expect Spencer to be there? Well, I'd sure as hell hope so, because the player was boosted up, and Viva gets a second. And now CyberZen should be able to get the bomb down. It's going to be a 2-on-3, but they have no health remaining. Anarchus comes in, disables the bomb for being planted, but HZ is still alive. And they sure as hell have a chance with him left on the server. They knew someone's banana, but didn't check it. Either way, 10-5 scoreline here for CyberZen at the end of the first half of Inferno. Gonna head to a break. When we come back, we'll see if we're going to that 3rd map. Oh, on T5 Inferno, CyberZen were able to take 10 rounds up against Aequus Club. And now as Aequus switch on to the T side, they have to hope they can make some magic happen here. Or we're looking at potentially seeing Train played here between these two maps, which is a map that hasn't really been played much in general when it comes to them. So that, I couldn't tell you what the hell's going to happen on Train if we get there. And it looks like with the way CyberZen are playing, we're going to.
Yeah, there'd need to be a severe turnaround, but well, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Crazy stuff from CyberZen. Straight down middle they go to take the battle versus Aequus. Already they find themselves with 3 kills, but the trades still come back to bring it closer. Any strategy that Aequus once had has gone out the window. HZ is all the way back towards their spawn. It's like they've switched sides of the maps, and he's very well placed, but looks like the bomb might just sneak past him.
Remember the rule of thumb? It's a 2-on-2 for these two teams.
Bingo. Oh, he's actually
Oh
going to
my
turn back as well. The pushing just isn't working out. HZ has to do it all. He's going to try and find the man, and he does. He gets one down, but the bomb's already gone rotating over towards the B site, and he's heading in the wrong direction. Once the plant is heard, though, I imagine he'll go running back towards B, and that's exactly what he'll do. So turning into the 1 versus 1. Doesn't have a kit either. A little bit of utility, but while a decoy is not going to do much, the flashbang might. He's got to find this kill quickly, and just look at the position of Pong. This is interesting. Probably knowing his opponent doesn't have a kit, but the position he's currently taking is one perfect for that bomb plant. There shouldn't be any way that HZ gets away with this unless he actually just manages to bait out some sort of peek, and although he's been spotted, the bomb is ticking far too long at this point. There's absolutely no way that Pong can lose this.
If you said that a couple seconds earlier on, I would have been like, you sure?
I was making sure.
Yeah, well, there we go. Pistol round. That's what we needed to see out of Aequus for them to have a chance here of T7 Inferno. Just, yeah, I mean, the fact that Ponged was able to slip by the CT player out of CyberZen who kind of went up into apartments allowed him to get that frag, and more importantly, allowed him to get the bomb in towards the B site. If that went a little bit differently and he was spotted out, that should have been CyberZen's round to take. And now going into the second round, or second half. Obviously have the buy-up coming in. Viva gonna spot out a player, not gonna hit the shot though. Savage, I fear for what he can do. Maybe he's playing anti-flash, maybe a flashbang could come through to open up in towards middle if they're that aggressive. You can see Aequus trying to be very cautious about this. They realize what's on the line here.
Yeah, this is pretty much their chance to get right back into the map, a force buy, and then should be a save in the next round for CyberZen. Of course, unless they get 4 kills, and then they'll probably go for it. Viva just going to look to play towards Dark. Now, there's only 1 Molotov and 1 smoke for the T-side. That's the one risk that they currently have. He's just going to be able to rattle off some shots, but eventually he's going to be closed out by Hydra. Good work from him. Both entries onto the site. Rotation already in from Bottle, though. He's trying to be a little bit sneaky. Somehow he's hit the dig through the smoke. He's going to carry on going and actually retrieve himself a weapon. Looking for a little bit more. Gets a second as well. And Ponct has been tagged low. 2 of them just below 30 HP. And HZ has found another. It's left all onto 1. Somehow Aequus is all on his own, and they managed to win this round. How is that turned back? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, we're casting CyberZen, and we're casting the Asia Minor. Of course it can happen.
That was a 5v3.
And you know what's funny?
After plant, they have
Mirage,
better weapons.
In Mirage, CyberZen won a 3v5 as well.
HZ has 26 kills. This is where I don't understand how they lose from this point. Like, Bottle just goes for like a ludicrous play, does a load of damage, but even still, they had multiple players around the site, and all of them just get picked apart. Like, just incredible. Aequus pretty much putting themselves down at this point, and well, you'd know all about that.
Let's focus our hate in a different direction. So, okay, Tom, let's turn a new cheek. I had enough of that yesterday with everyone just battering me to shreds. That's Nate coming in, actually. Does a little bit of damage to TV. Anarchist gets a kill on the Savage, and Viva gets a double. To turn things around. Maybe even a third coming through as the smoke's going to cover, but the nade is going to be able to go straight through that. And that will be now 3 for Viva. And Aequus forced up into that round. Bomb's still stuck in T-mid, and Sam's trying to do something as he's looking over towards Cubby. A couple of shots right off, and he does back away. I just don't know what's going on.
Said, I'm going to close down one more. The thing is, I have, at least in this map, a lot more faith in CyberZen once they have the actual weapons and utility. And I think that Aequus may have just blown their shot by having that, because I'm still just bemused that they managed to lose that 5v3 after plant. Just wasn't well played. And okay, sure, Bottle managed to get away with way too much just by one individual play, but even still, there were 3 remaining players left on the site with weapons. Either way, we've got to move on from that, and we are looking at what is a pure eco here from Aequus. Absolutely nothing invested, and Bottle wants to make some money. Unfortunately, I was going to say Viva's going to be the one to get all the kills, but not to be the case. TB to clean it up. 4 of the easiest frags he'll probably ever have, and that will be CyberZen hitting their 13th, and well, the train does seem to be pulling into the station.
Aequus going to be buying up here into this round. Some AKs, no AWP. Aequus is going to be forced to sit on the AK in this half, I think, for the majority of it, unless they can string together quite a few rounds. And look at the utility out of CyberZen. So many incendiary grenades, so many nades as well. So many damage dealing utility, which is nice to see out of them to invest in every round. And when you're winning rounds like they are, no reason not to. It's an Inferno here in Banana.
That late nade, and now there's just the chance for the spray through. Lots of damage done, and TB with the double dunk. Just gonna leave it down to only 2 players remaining. It was that late nade, I love that. They just held it a little bit longer just because it seemed like their opponents were waiting outside of the banana. The bomb's already down as well. Aequus needs this kill, and it's just not gonna go his way. Asylum. Oh, he's locked out of this one. This seems utterly hopeless. He does still manage to get a kill. Like H said, maybe wanting to pad those stats a little bit too much. Won't matter in the end. 14 and 6. Money again not there for Aequus. They'll use their final tactical pause, but the fact is there needs to be some absolute words of wisdom, some changing factors coming out from Mimi in this scenario, because even if they had the best buy possible, they're so far down, and they don't. They don't have that. They've got 3,000 apiece to actually buy into this next round. So no matter what happens here, it's going to be very difficult for them to get back into this.
And again, I'm not trying to call any players out, but just looking at the last map to this one, we had Asylum, who was a major fragger, a major player within the team. He went +2, going 22 and 20, had a 1.25 rating in that map, and 91 ADR. Was that finished 16-14?
Was that then with every player except one over 20 kills?
Yep, it was just Punked at 15.
Yeah. So it's like they pretty much had the whole team stepping up, and here the case is definitely not the same.
And it's just Asylum's only on 8 frags. Like, he's been having definitely a rougher match here when it comes to this. He doesn't seem to be allowed to play as freely as he wants to. And again, look at all this funneling to do with the incendiary grenades. A lot of utility. Look at that damage. Red bars everywhere. And that is going to be an easy spray down. It just seems to be running into the brick wall. And that brick wall, it's holding a couple of AKs and a couple of M4s in your direction.
I understand the idea there. They had 4 HEs of their own, and they were just trying to counter the amount of utility damage. But the thing is, it's a lot easier to just bank a nade off the corner and just, like, run away. In this case, obviously, Savage just decides, I want my turn at padding my stats. But what's that, 3-4 times now? We've seen just everybody in Aequus die within 20 seconds just because they've run towards B. Hopefully this time they're going to go A. But by the looks of it, they still want to jump banana.
Not as many nades being thrown in this time, though. Out of CyberZen. A lot of... Oh my gosh. It's like Dante's Inferno here. Just constant fire left and right. Look at the Savage.
Oh my god.
Flashbang comes through. Bottle does clean up 2 over towards apartments.
But they've actually managed to get B. Still, though, it's a very, very difficult scenario. You can see Aequus, he knows he needs to find a kill here. Left on 8 HP, but he does it anyway. HZ is gone and leaves it down to our trusty 2v2.
Wait, what?
Ooh, they're trying to bamboozle, but this has failed. There's already a man here. Bottle. Oh.
Don't miss your shot.
See, if he didn't shoot there, that would actually be a better scenario, because they wouldn't actually know what site they were going to. So needed to make sure that was a connection. The position of Aequus is a good one. He's going for the head triangle again, but loses the battle this time. And now Zenson needs to rectify his mistake. He needs to try and win this battle. Looking over the top of the smoke. I don't know if Viva spotted anything out. I don't think he has. They're just going to look to try and play off each other, which makes things very difficult for the man from Aequus. Lots of utility as well for this CT side, but he manages the first and the second as well. The clutch will keep them alive in this map as Inferno will continue a little longer.
It's not like CyberZen's going to be hurting for money anytime soon, though, having 3 players above 10K as that round did finish off. What a shot right there out of Aequus. I just... That round, if you lost that because you shot when you didn't need to, when they thought it was going B, you would have had an easy plant, they would have continued to push towards B, and you would have had a round guaranteed. Luckily, Zenser was able to clutch out in that 1v2.
Savage is getting confident. That's not what you want to see if you're an Aequus player. He's looking to try and push down into middle, but he'll be caught out. Punished. Finally. It's taken a long time. Still further pushing actually coming down from the CT side. They're going right to the bottom of Banana. TB, he's done well in the corners so far. He's got Viva to support him with the AWP, but it leaves the A site hold a little bit weak.
Well, the one towards Arch Bottle, a lot of pressure is going to come onto his shoulders. More importantly, HZ, he's been fantastic this map, 27 and 13. He's going to be in lone, tucked away in pit, but even with these smokes being expended, it's not like they've been able to gain too much real estate here, as Night's able to rotate out of pit. Get himself tucked away in towards site. Looks like the bomb will be picked up and moved over towards A, so it's going to be an A hit.
Model's dead for sure. Good Molotov. Good utility usage, and this leaves it all onto HZ. The rotation coming in from behind them from TV could make things interesting, but his teammates not quite able to hold the site down long enough for that to play a factor. Now, the CT's money is not in the best of stakes here, so you almost have to wonder if it's worth TB just saving this weapon. He's going to go for the face into the apartments. I'm not a fan. Just a waste of a gun.
Okay, Tom, let me run something by you. We had a 15-point scoreline for Aequus on Mirage, and CyberZen were able to pull it back.
Almost.
Almost. Do you think Aequus is going to go on a major streak here? Do you think that, or are you hoping that?
No, I just, like, a lot of the rounds have been sort of messier, and I think that a lot of this has come down to sort of overconfidence in the last few rounds from CyberZen, like some of the plays they've been making. Like, obviously that round was literally Savage running down mid. So, like, you can't really go, yeah, that was just an excellent execute coming out from Aequus. They managed to kill that guy who was running at them, and then it's just like, I haven't seen anything to make me believe that they're going to be turning the back. Obviously, they did well with their utility once they had the man advantage, but I feel like it's a very different beast finding the opener on Inferno and just being handed it. So obviously the next few rounds, they should be given a little bit of space, but actually there's still going to be a purchase here for CyberZen. So still enough money. Obviously TB, if he saved his gun, this would have been flawless, but he decided he wanted to try and take some weapons away. Instead though, they're probably going to take the fight on Banana as they have been before and fall back into what was working, what was successful.
Well, let's see. Being forced to go with the save after this for CyberZen. Well, I want to say that, but then again, CZs, you know what they can do, right? So they're going to get aggressive towards B. Punked is just going to be destroyed through that smoke. Meantime, the bomb's kind of left to his own devices here. Towards the bottom of T mid. So he's rotating over towards second. Savage picking up an op for one of the first times on the CT side.
Good nade usage though. Lots of damage done. HZ in the pit this time. He's going to allow them to take the site. He's the only one here. Needs at least a kill and doesn't get anything done. However, the rotation's quick. They need to be aware of this. Bomb's going to get dropped onto the floor, and this gives some space for Bottle to do some damage. However, it's still left all onto Viva. He's waiting around the edge of the smoke that did have a gap in it, but it's actually been sectioned off. However, he's managed to make the space. It won't matter. Aequus, they stay alive a little bit longer. 9th round onto the board. And this time, there's no purchase coming in for the CTs.
I mean, they're looking good when they can force CyberZen to play the way Aequus wants them to. Like, the Molotovs are throwing, the flashes, the smokes. Like, they're doing everything basically perfectly to get into the site. It's just when CyberZen throws something a little bit crazy at them on the CT sides where they started to struggle here, playing out of the norm or playing out of what they're comfortably doing.
The other thing as well is I feel like the last few rounds that have gone the way of Aequus, I'm still, like, there's moments in them that I feel are mistakes from CyberZen. Like, for example, they had a man advantage. Savage then takes a peek where he's not sure where he should be looking. He switches to the wrong one and gets killed. Then they push onto the site, and he's the only other defender. There's only one other defender other than him. So it's like they're taking risks in positions where they shouldn't be. Like, if you have 2 players defending A, you shouldn't be taking risks because you don't have enough to actually hold off the site if one of you dies.
Right.
So obviously you've got to give props to Aequus for capitalizing on that.
Oh my god.
But if CyberZen don't make those mistakes, do they lose the round? I don't know. it's obviously up in the air.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that's not up in the air, though, is that CyberZen still have 6 rounds to play with. Minute left to go, and Aequus is going to be the one to be forced to pull the trigger. The problem for them is that CyberZen have a 4-man stack towards B waiting. And the Aequus are going to be heading this direction. It's going to be tough here, Tom. The dink does come in, but he does get a smoke out. Nate going to come in as well. That's going to be the first CZ frag coming in from the top from Viva.
Oh no, not like this. There's only one man standing. Asylum, I think you're out of luck, my friend. You got a man pushing behind him as well. And he has absolutely no idea, but I like the fact they just wait. It won't matter. CyberZen, the stack works out. The gamble play is enough for them to take the victory, and they will turn this into a 3-map series. Train is going to be coming after the break.